Square Up.
Yo, what's going on, man? It's Andre Berto, two-time world champion. I fought. I loved it. I really wanted to do that sit down from a fighter's perspective.
My G. What's going on? Caleb Platts.
What's going on, my boy? Now you got a chance to really draw in your audience, to let them see who you are.
I've had to have a lot of internal talks to say, do I even want to carry on?
As fighters, we know what time it is. Like I say, the time is now.
Square Up.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform. Let's go.
Straight up noon on this Friday, three-man front, Landrum, Pat, Molly, Conrad. Hope you're doing well, getting ready for the Freedom 250 face-off coming up live from Social Taco on Monday. We're typically at Social Taco on Tuesdays, but Monday it is appointment, listening, viewing, Conrad taking on Hastings. Who is the true American? It's 40 questions. You got point-based rounds. We'll have 4 different rounds, different levels of questions, but it will be decided. 1 o'clock is when the questions start, but make your plans to be at Social Taco on Monday. The terrace will be active early. We got Mary, we got BB coming up there to decorate, but just a chance for us to not only celebrate Conrad and that brain of his, but also Hastings and our wonderful country, and a country that we get to enjoy doing things like this each and every day. And that is one thing I appreciate the World Cup for, is the different fans that come over here and they're blown away by so many things that we take for granted. And this is not political, this is not anything, but just think about how fortunate we are with how many things we're afforded here in this country before, it's because it's easy, and I'm guilty of it at times, everybody is, of just coming out and you want to just be and moan about everything. Golly, we got it so good.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sorry, I'm off a soapbox. But make a plan to join us on Monday.
All the things you just mentioned, plus wonderful air conditioning.
Yeah, it's going to be nice and cool in there.
That's true.
I saw that stat where in England, only 5% of the households have air conditioning.
Yeah, heat waves killing people.
5%.
I have one of my friends that I mentioned it before. He lives in London right now for work because he had to move over there for a job. And I was talking to him the other night, and he was talking about how every store is sold out of air conditioning units, and he had like 3 fans going in his apartment that he's living in right now because it's like 95 degrees and nobody has air conditioning.
It's so hard to sleep hot.
Yep. He said he was going to work sometimes, like outside of work hours, to go inside and get air conditioning, and he would just sit in his office because it's so miserable in his apartment. But we will have plenty of air conditioning at Social Taco on Monday.
Yes, very much so.
We will have tons of it.
Be a great crowd.
I'm excited.
Yes.
It's going to be so great. So I was thinking about this. Now, I don't know if there's maybe repercussions that would come with this, but I was wondering, could we do some sort of a drinking game for our patrons that want to participate? And every time I get a question wrong, you have to take a drink?
That would be between you and the patrons if you want a side bet.
Okay.
I don't want to be responsible for constructing anything that could lead to.
I just know we've had a lot of people that have been, oh yeah, I can't wait to go and enjoy
someone taking
cerveza.
Off their shirt.
I can't take off my shirt.
Well, someone else taking off their shirt.
So
you're expected to take off your
my
shirt.
Okay.
Yep. And you're going to shave $250 in your.
Yes.
How Paige did that.
And Molly will be applying my face paint.
Look at her. She's just like gritting her teeth.
Oh, this is the best day ever.
Put that glitter on that skin.
Yes, I'm so excited. Glitter.
You know Conrad's face more intimately than any of us. Now think about it.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Is there any abnormalities that you've noticed on that face while decorating it?
He's a little greasy.
Oh, come on, Molly. Come on, Molly.
Oh, greasy.
You're a little oily.
Oh,
Am
wow.
You need like some powder or something.
Am I oily?
Are you oily?
I guess. I don't know. I try to shower
It's
every
that
other
foundation you've been using.
day. I guess.
Wow. Didn't know that was going there.
Sorry.
I have to tell Paige.
But when I
need to
tried
fix that.
drawing the little stars on him for the World Baseball
Can't
Classic,
get him to stick.
yeah, I couldn't get him to stay.
That's oil.
I'll work on that. I'll talk to my wife.
And
this
that's why I have to
weekend,
put
say,
so
we
much
gotta fix
paint on
this.
him.
That's
because
oil.
he'll sweat it off.
Now that is fair. I
Yeah.
sweat a lot. I sweat a lot.
Two 205-834-9450. So Freedom 250 face-off, we have that coming up on Monday. Most hated college football program by state. RotoWire put something out, and it's very interesting. The state of Alabama, Georgia is listed as the most hated for teams here, but a lot of Notre Dame hate, a lot of Southern Cal hate. So that's interesting. A lot of responses to that on the text line, 205-834-9450. Dave texting in says, awesome shot from Molly. Just made my day.
Sorry.
So I guess Molly's team Hastings is that's really what we just
Just
figured out
Conrad,
here.
just take away from all of that. You just made someone's day.
Yeah, I'm glad I could be a part of that. That's great.
Andrew's asking the question, how long do they each have to answer the question? 1 hour doesn't seem like a lot of time for over 40 questions.
No, it'll be limited. We will get with the official, who is Dave, and we will have that determination.
Posey says Conrad's glands lactate too much.
They really do.
Brad is looking for a Don boycott. He says, I will buy him puzzles, pencils, and paper. Heck, update his resume for resume. Drive or not drive traffic.
I don't know if y'all remember, but for the FSU Dave, for the like the contest or the bet that they made where I got to paint up Conrad the first time in the FSU.
When he said that
Yeah.
Alabama was going to beat the crap out of Florida State.
I
So
don't
for
remember that
bet,
game.
Oh, we all remember. I had to hairspray his face so it would stay. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
We're piling on today.
No, I'm just. I'm sorry.
Didn't you were talking about all the blackheads he has around his nose? Didn't you tell me about
Well,
that?
those were covered with the paint.
Oh.
So
You
See,
said the sty that was leaking
the
out of
things
his
that she
eye.
tells
Yeah.
us about
Stop.
the ingrown hair you had on your chin.
That was the worst.
Yeah, that was bad.
Thank you guys. Happy Friday.
I'm sorry.
Collins says, fun fact about Bosnia and Herzegovina. They had Olympic athletes stay and train in Pell City before the 96 Olympics.
How about that?
Yep. Somebody saying if the United States gets to host the World Cup again, one thing is for certain, get more beer. Is this still a problem with the beer? We still having issues with the beer?
I don't
No,
think
the Scottish,
so.
they drank
No,
Boston out, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about pubs around the city. I mean, you're not talking about, like, actually in the stadiums. It's not like Legion Field running out of stuff.
Yep. Going back to the hate, this one reads, I personally think Auburn's a good school, but their fans should have a life sentence to the Bryce Nut House. All crazy, LOL. Shout out to our friends at Bryce Hospital.
Here we're big in Bryce Hospital.
Shout out to Bryce Hospital.
I think we're the number one show in Bryce Hospital.
Yeah. We're part of therapy. Auburn fan here. For me, it's Georgia. Bama is on its way back to irrelevancy, where they belong. Georgia has Auburn's number lately. Well, technically Alabama does too, but you got to pick one. I would say Georgia. I would say Georgia for Auburn. Especially after, here it is. This one reads, for me, it's Georgia and their stupid coach who thinks you clap by tapping your fingertips into your palm, making a T shape.
There it is.
I hate Auburn so intensely, it is unmeaningful to consider who is number 2. Auburn gets all of my hate.
Daggone.
Wow.
Must be the guy I can play golf with. He does.
He just really just hates them.
This one reads, definitely Tennessee. Ohio State and Notre Dame have to be up there. Also, do you guys know Gunnar Stockton failed to opt into college football 2027? So he's currently not in the game.
Yeah, I also saw where Justice Haynes, the former Alabama running back who went off to Michigan, who's now at Georgia Tech, he did not opt in.
Okay, see, that makes sense because me and Damian were talking about some of the – because they, put out all the top players and stuff, and Gunnar Stockton wasn't on there. and he wasn't one of the top quarterbacks, and we were very confused by that. But that would make sense if he's not in the game.
Did you remember that Justice Haynes was at Georgia Tech?
I did, yeah.
I didn't. I still had him at Michigan.
He was really good last year for Michigan.
Yeah.
Could have probably used him.
And Justin says, just don't get Don Don crayons. He will eat them.
Goodness.
What is that? Y'all leave Don Don alone? I know, he kind of brings it up.
I think he thrives off of it, though.
Yeah, I do too. He enjoys it. Don't throw me in the briar patch. We're going to have people filming the debate or the trivia, but also somebody just one camera on Don Don.
The Don Don
The Don Don cam, yes.
With the Godfather.
That'd be must-see TV right there.
If you need a roof to count on, the Abide Roofing team is ready to help you at 205-577-7338, just like Conrad has been experiencing over the last couple of weeks because he had some major damage on his roof as a tree fell during a storm. But whether your roof has been damaged by a storm like Conrad's or showing signs of age like mine did, or you simply want the peace of mind that comes with a quality roof over your head, that's where Abide Roofing comes in. 205-577-7338. That's 205-577-7338. AbideRoof.com is the website. I trusted Abide Roofing when I needed a brand new roof, and you should too. Quality workmanship and roofs that are built to last, and it's what you expect from Abide Roofing. From your first call to the final inspection, Abide Roofing puts you first. They specialize in roof repairs, full roof replacements, inspections, and insurance claim assistance. Call Travis Lloyd today and his outstanding local roofing team. That number again, 205-577-7338. That's abideroof.com. More three-man front. We'll get to more of your texts. Calls are welcome next at 1-800-239-WJOX. Braves are in San Francisco this weekend. Braves have dropped 4 of their last 5 of the series that they have played. Remember when they were had that incredible run of never losing a series? They've now lost 4 of their last 5 series, 10 of their last 13 games. We will see if they can turn things around. The good news is that the pitching is still very good for Atlanta. They have the 4th best ERA in all of Major League Baseball. The hitting has gone south over the course of the last few weeks, but the pitching is still there. San Francisco, meanwhile, they are 13 games under 500. They are 16-21 at home. The Giants have the 4th best team batting average in Major League Baseball. So their offense is really good.
The thing that bothers me is we have been playing poorly and losing to bad teams just like the Giants. Right now, the Braves would have a hard time beating anybody based on what you said. And a lot of it has to do with hitting. And then when you have situations where you can plate some runs, they're not getting any. And usually it's the worst possible outcome that could have happened. It mirrors a lot of what we saw last year.
Lopez on the bump tonight for Atlanta, 3.50 ERA, going up against Trevor McDonald, 2-5, 4.93 ERA. The Phillies picked up a half game in the standings last night. Braves did not play, but the Phillies wrapped up a series. And they became the first team to ever, in back-to-back-to-back games, be down to their final out in the 9th inning and come back and win. Last night it was Bryce Harper with a home run in the top of the 9th inning as the fans were chanting F Harper.
What'd you think of his run around the bases?
Interesting.
I thought we would have gotten I don't know, maybe it'll come later today, but something from MLB of hey, maybe we don't.
What did he do?
Oh, he flicked off the fans. Like he hit the home run and he flipped off the crowd.
Yeah, Major League Baseball, they've got a lot of issues right now because last night I was watching the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox, and if anyone's following the news, the horrible situation going on in Venezuela after the earthquake.
Yes. Where
thousands of people are missing, and it's a terrible.
250 have lost their lives.
Yeah, it's just a terrible situation in Venezuela, and there are plenty of baseball players in Major League Baseball that are from Venezuela, including Wilson Contreras, who now plays first base for the Boston Red Sox. So himself and a couple other Venezuelans that play on the Boston team, they had written things on their hats. And I'm just curious because if you're going to go after
guys who write Bible verses on their hats,
and then all of a sudden you're writing messages, which, again, if you're not going to let anybody do it, then, I'm going to come across crass here, but Wilson Contreras should not be writing things about Venezuela on his hat.
I agree.
So I have no idea if Major League Baseball made a phone call after the game, because there were multiple players that had stuff written on their hats. So, if you're going to come after the three guys in San Francisco for writing something on their caps, are you doing the same for those in Boston?
Well, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be able to express, but when I'm tuning into a baseball game, I'm watching for baseball. I'm not worried about who you vote for politically. I'm not concerned with who you sleep with, who you're attracted to. I'm not. If you want to have those celebrations, fine, but you don't wait to eliminate this in any kind of controversy or players feeling alienated. Don't put anything on it.
There were players years past, sometimes starting pitchers will go behind the mound and they would write with their finger like either a number or a cross or something like that. And the Major League Baseball had to get onto them for doing that. So
but don't pick and choose based on what you think public opinion will be. Like Venezuela, who's going to hate on that? But you will have people that hate on a Bible verse or somebody saying, I love Jesus. Plain and simple.
So when I was watching the game and I saw that, I'm just like thinking, okay, well, is it going to be someone's not going to say something because they're trying to try to bring awareness to a terrible situation?
Yes.
In Venezuela.
Awful. And they need our help and they need our prayers.
I just wonder if there will be protests outside Fenway Park
There
it was
be.
in
Doubt it.
San Francisco.
Yeah. There won't be. 205-834-9450. The text line is always open. We love your interaction each and every Friday. There's plenty more to get to, including maybe some bad news for Tennessee football. What does that mean? We'll get into it next.
Phone lines are open, 1-800-239-WJOX. Text line as well, 205-834-9450. United States, they lose last night at the World Cup. Did not matter in the standings. We won our pool, so we play Wednesday night. That will be a 7 o'clock kickoff in San Francisco against Bosnia. That will be on Fox Television coming up next week. As they are wrapping up, the knockout matches will be set very soon, as we still got some pool play that's going on across the United States. Also, just saw this a few moments ago, but the College World Series on ESPN was the third most watched in the history of the event. That's great ratings. 24% up from last year. Helps when you got 5 SEC teams.
For sure.
that is playing in Omaha. The grand finale between Oklahoma and North Carolina had 2.5 million viewers. The night before, it was 2.3 million. And in game one, it was 2 million. So that's the way it went down. Overall, the tournament, just a great success, television-wise. Third most watched NCAA tournament since 2009. It was the most watched Super Regionals since 2009 and best regional round ever. So college baseball fans, they tuned in large numbers.
And having some of that new blood and some of those fun storylines.
Yeah.
Attracting eyeballs as well. Well, our friends at the Garage in Pelham want to remind you that during the hot summer months, traveling to and from, going on vacations, road trips, whatever you got going on, it's a great time to get your AC checked in what you're driving and what you're carrying your family in. Great news. The Garage in Pelham, they specialize in AC checks. That's right. They got 4 new diagnostic machines. They can handle even the newest coolants, whatever the make or the model. But 5 stars across the board, and we stress the service. It's not just AC checks. It's anything under the hood, anything that could be going on with your car, truck, or your SUV. Heck, they can even replace an engine. They don't want to have to do it, but they can certainly do it. if it's a belt, if it's a hose, if it's something that's making a pinging noise, a light has come on, you don't understand what's going on, the Garage and Pelham, they'll figure it out. Excellent communicators are going to let you know what's going on throughout the process. Nothing hidden, no surprises. They're folks you can trust. Robert, Richie, you're going to see them, their smiling faces when we walk into that clean professional lobby. Bob is the owner, and he constantly gives back to the community. It's the Garage in Pelham. TheGarageInPelham.com. Right there, you're going to find the coupons that you can get on the AC check when you set up your appointment. Also, any repairs or any service that needs to be done. TheGarageInPelham.com. Always tell them Landrum from Jock sent you.
1-800-239-WJOX. The text line is wide open. So many of you just been busting that text line all day long, and we appreciate the interaction as we've been talking about USA Turkey last night. We also have been talking about Major League Baseball, Braves in a bit of a slump right now, and, of course, the most hated college football program in the state of Alabama. According to RotoWire, it's the Georgia Bulldogs. Do you agree or disagree? So let's get back to the text line, 205-834-9450. But I just noticed that Miles has just called us from Mississippi, so let's get Miles on. Hey, Miles, how are you?
Good afternoon, all. Let me ask you guys something. Let's go back in time. Let's get in that DeLorean with Michael J. Fox, and let's go back a couple years.
Huey Lewis.
Let's the Austin case, when the Supreme Court ruled that colleges that were in violation of antitrust laws, and then after that, of course, we all have to start. All the schools had to start paying the players, which made them take on a huge debt load. If that doesn't happen, do we still have all this conference realignment?
I think conference realignment would have happened anyway, just because the television ratings and how the corporate folks at Fox and ESPN looking for more quality inventory. So I think that would have happened anyway. But from the financial end of things, with obviously the transfer portal, NIL, and all that stuff, without the Austin case, obviously none of that would have been happening today without that. But I do think the expansion, because way before that, there was always the rumors. If you think back when Texas and Oklahoma almost went to the Pac-12, that was many, many years before Texas and Oklahoma ended up in the Southeastern Conference.
That's a good point. Baseball, change directions. If first base has a run-through rule, should there be a run-through rule on second and third base?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
The reason I ask, and this may not be I may not be picking the right rule to discuss. I was watching the Red Sox the other day, and they had a guy on third, a guy slide into third, and the third baseman wisely kept his glove on the guy.
And then he popped up.
He popped up, and I mean his foot was like an inch off the base, but he was out.
Well, Miles, did you see what happened to Pete Crow Armstrong the other night with
I did not.
the Mets game? Let me tell you what this happened. He's on first, runner at the plate, or batter at the plate. Okay. He's got 3 balls. Okay. Pete Crow Armstrong, he's going on the pitch, right? Okay.
Yes.
So.
Oh wait, I did see this. Yeah. They played the Cubs, right?
Yep. So the pitch comes in. Well, it's a ball. Well, the catcher automatically pops up to throw to second because he can't wait to see whether it's a strike or not, whether it's so he throws down. It's a ball. Okay. So Pete Crow Armstrong slides into second. The tag comes in. The tag, obviously, he's sliding in. They put the tag on him, but then he comes to the bag and he comes off the bag. Now, it was a walk behind him. Now, according to Major League Baseball rules, or any rules in baseball, you're only awarded the next base in front of you. So when he popped off the bag and they had the tag on him, even though it was a walk, he's out. And, of course, Craig Counsell got thrown out of the game. It's a bad rule, but it is a rule.
So you're saying in that brief moment he occupied the bag, and so at that point,
once he touches the bag, like he is only awarded the bag in front of him.
Yeah, you can walk to the bag or you can slide into the bag. But if you walk over the bag or if you pop off the bag, you get tagged, you're out.
Absolutely. And that's what happened. So, yeah, that was – and it's been a long time since I've seen that happen in a game, but that happened. So, literally, he's sliding in. He gets the bag, okay? They call him safe because he slides into the bag because, again, there's a walk behind him. But then he popped off the bag, and they tagged him, and he's out.
It just seems like when you're sliding into a base, it's awful. Seems like it would be very difficult to control, how far you slide.
I'm amazed at the guys that can do it. I played baseball a long time. I was terrible at sliding.
Well, and it's so funny that happened, Miles, because P. Crow Armstrong was involved a couple of years ago of another call that the games that I call in baseball, we've had this debate before. I think you probably remember the play, Landrum. He was sliding into second base, and he's kind of a hot dog. And so he had his helmet in his hand. And so he's sliding into second base, and he has his helmet in his hand touching the bag. And then they tag him. Well, the helmet in his hand is on the bag, but you cannot use a piece of your equipment like the helmet in his hand, and they tagged him, and he was out.
Oh.
So it's the second time, and in both instances it happened in New York on Pete Armstrong against the Mets.
But you can use the oven mitt.
But if it's connected to your hand, but
yeah.
the helmet is not connected to your hand, so.
Man, that's technical.
Yeah.
That is technical.
This is why many, many years ago I stopped umpiring Little League baseball games.
Because
all this kind of crap happens like 93 times in every one of them.
Well, listen, I saw a viral video a couple days ago
on
TikTok where an umpire in an all-star game, and he blew it. Kid at first baseman, he gets a ground ball, and he kind of trips, and he has the ball in one hand, and he obviously has an empty glove, and he reaches and touches the bag. Okay, well, they call him out. The runner going from home to first, they call him out, and then the umpires get together and they say, no, he's safe, which that's the wrong call. Because in that situation, it's different when you're trying to tag a runner. Like, you have to have the ball in your glove. But him touching the bag with his glove with the ball in his other hand is the equivalent of you walking up and touching the bag with your foot when you're touching a bag. And so they completely foobarred that one up. And matter of fact, there were like multiple coaches that got thrown out of that one because they didn't know the rule. They came back and they were saying, no, the guy's safe, which was wrong rule. So.
Oh, wow. Wow. Y'all, before I go, let me ask you one more realignment question. Well, first off, with Congress, do you think this newest law is going to pass? Or do you think they're going to shut it down? Think they'll even vote on it?
I think they're going to vote on it.
I think the Senate will. Okay. But I don't think they're going to get 60.
Yeah.
Either way, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm on the fence.
If it were to pass, okay, there are stories, y'all know them better than I do, that you are going to see some really fast additions to the Big Ten and SEC.
I don't think so.
To
I would hope so.
To prevent that 70% from kicking in.
Yeah, I would hope so, Miles. I would hope that's their response. It should be.
Okay. Y'all,
because when is the next time, if this thing does pass, when's the next time that you're going to have the autonomy to go and add who you want to add when you want to add them?
Right. And it's self-protection.
Sure it is.
It's self-preservation.
I don't think anybody else is going out of their way to make concessions or see how they can help the Big Ten and the SEC. All I've heard is you guys are the problem.
Right. We're the evil ones.
Yep.
Y'all, thank you for your time. Have a great weekend.
Miles, thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, the one thing you do need to keep in mind and need to be reminded of this, if Clemson or Florida State wanted to leave for any conference, as of this moment, it would cost them $950 million. Now,
North Carolina?
If you're sitting there and you think you're in Tallahassee and you're like, you know what? In the long run, we're going to be able to pay that $950 million off pretty quickly by being in the Southeastern Conference based on the amount of money that you're going to get, based on all the other things.
How are you going to – is that an easy sell to the current chancellors of the Southeastern Conference? If Greg Sankey goes in and he says, all right, guys, I'm going to sell you this. Based on everything else that is happening, they're going to be comfortable with two more pieces of the pie going somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I think and keep in mind, I think in 2030 is when it drops significantly for Florida State and Clemson to leave the ACC. And that goes for everybody that would like to leave the ACC.
You name teams in waiting?
Yeah. But whoever leaves for whatever conference, you're going to have to take a bath up front because you're only going to get 50% revenue. Because that's what's happening now. I mean, even with Oregon and Washington, they're not getting full Big Ten shares. Now, the very first year, Oklahoma and Texas, they didn't get a full share, but they got a whole heck of a lot more percentage-wise than what Oregon and Washington got going to the Big Ten. So.
Well, I mentioned it earlier, Tennessee football. Getting some bad news today. Defensive end Chaz Coleman, transfer from Penn State, got reportedly up to $2 million to transfer from Happy Valley to Knoxville. He has been medically disqualified from the program. So a guy you were counting on, if you're Jim Knowles, new defensive coordinator, if you're Josh Heupel on that defense, ensuring that side of the ball up, well, you just lost a big piece. As Chaz Coleman, 6'4", 230-pound edge, 140-something snaps in his freshman campaign at Penn State, but he did have 8 total tackles, 6 of them solo, had a sack, had some pressures, but a guy with a lot of upside, Pat, that they're not going to have available.
And reportedly, they paid over $2 million for him.
If there was one side of the ball, and look, Tennessee, they might be drastically improved on that side from where they were last year, but
and this is
where
good.
It all starts.
This is good news for Conrad and all the 3-stars that Alabama is recruiting right now. So Chaz Coleman, he was a fringe 4-star recruit coming out of high school. Like he was a 3 in some services, and he hit 4 in a few others. And all of a sudden, he just got a $2 million payday at the University of Tennessee until they decided to part ways. But it's a pretty good success story, going from a fringe 4-star athlete to making $2 million.
Don had him as an invited prospect.
Yeah.
That's when you
kind of a gray shirt.
You kind of wait in the waiting room until you're worthy of being selected with a star.
See, that just plays into the question that I had brought up earlier when we talked about this, which is your plan is to retain all of these guys, and they've done a great job of that so far at Alabama. I think out of the last 2 classes, they've had 48 recruits, and they've retained 47 of the 48, which is really good numbers. But that right there is just telling you, I mean, that's not a 5-star can't miss all-time, all-world prospect that's getting $2 million. That's some kid that
took advantage of a situation.
Absolutely.
Well, it says there have been reports on message boards that he was homesick. Josh Heupel, during SEC spring meetings, take you back there, he said, quote, about Coleman, he's been dealing with some things, and we're here to support him, end quote. So medically cleared, are we talking about a mental illness, which has been in the news here lately in a few cases, one high profile. But, Pat, you brought up something in the break. I wonder if having something where he's medically dismissed, how does that affect maybe the language contractually in your NIL?
Very much so.
And I would think that Tennessee, given what happened with Nico, probably
or an insurance company pays the bill.
They're probably pretty buttoned up on that side, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. He was the 7th highest transfer portal player.
.6'4", 250 pounds. And it stinks. I don't know. I had Tennessee 8-4, I think, in my preseason projections.
Win total is 7.5 for Tennessee.
Okay, maybe we bump that down. We go under now. I have to relook at the schedule. 800-239-WJOX 205-834-9450. Also, something that was brought up. Speaking of Tennessee, thought we would get more Tennessee hate. The most hated college football programs by state. Georgia, according to RotoWire, is our most hated program from the state of Alabama.
I feel like that's checked out with a lot of the text line.
Yeah,
from people. Because you do have I'm an Alabama fan and I hate Auburn, or I'm an Auburn fan and I hate Alabama. But I feel like a lot of the Auburn people have said Georgia, and a number of the Alabama people as well. You get a good both sides hating Georgia here in the state.
This one comes in and says most hated team, Auburn number 1, Georgia number 2, number 3, the University of Iran. Would that be Tehran University? We'll come back to that one. Probably need to scan that one first. And yeah, I'm not really not connecting the dots. Going back to Major League Baseball, this listener says, yeah, Major League Baseball won't say anything to the Boston players who put the support Venezuela on their hats. Chris says, my wife and I listen every day, and I just want to wish you all a happy Friday. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for listening. Happy Friday, happy weekend to you and your wife. We appreciate it. This one says, let the artificial Auburn fan know that War Eagle Fan Club's Board of Governors has revoked his fan card, so he's free to jump ship to Auburn's other rival, the Georgia Bulldogs. And Don making friends out there.
I wonder if Don would be more likely to return to his roots as an Alabama fan or be a Georgia fan if he had to pick. That'd be interesting.
And Posey is requesting a pic of Don checking the fax machine for daily updates.
That's good.
Love you, Don. 205-834-9450.
Does anybody actually think that we won't hear a recruiting update from Don until September 1st?
Oh, gosh, no. Come on.
Somebody said they'd cheer for Afghanistan if they played Alabama.
Wow.
Where are we playing that? Bryant Denny or Kabul Memorial? Kabul, whatever, how you want to pronounce it.
What is played in Lubbock? I think that would be the most familiar for, based on comments we've heard.
See what you did there. You get Senator Tuberville to bring out the coin. I like it. Made for TV, baby.
That'd be good.
All right, keep the text rolling in. We got Pat Ponders, the worst thing I've seen as well.
Got a dangerous tree leaning over your house or maybe branches blocking your view? You need to call Golston Tree Service, 205-337-4443. Golston's licensed pros. They handle everything from trimming and pruning to full tree removals. Fast, safe, and affordable. Don't wait until that next storm causes damage. Call Golston Tree Service, 24-hour emergency tree service, 205-337-4443. You've heard me for years talk about Golston. I've used Golston, tons of my friends, people that have had issues on their property with trees. If you want to be proactive, call Golston Tree Service, 205-337-4443.
We continue three-man front on this Friday. 1248 three-man front. Appreciate you joining us here on this Friday. The Coach Wimp Sanderson got us started, presented by Craneworks. Any portion of the show you miss, you can always find it there, jocksfm.com and the three-man front podcast. The text line is open. Multitude of things. We've got our Freedom 250 face-off coming up from Social Taco on Monday. Make your plans to be there. The trivia between Conrad and Hastings begins at 1 o'clock, but the doors open early. We're going to be broadcasting 10 to 2. So Social Taco, if you've never made your way there in the square in Homewood, it's right next to City Hall. So we've got that going on. We've also got the most hated by state college football programs. Alabama, the state of Alabama, the most hated would be the Georgia Bulldogs. But Alabama gets hate from other places. Hawaii, Alaska, two of those places, which are very interesting.
Friendly fire on Tua,
Friendly fire on Tua?
And Talia, technically.
Yeah. Do they go back to the island much?
I don't know. What, Pat?
Talia is from Alabaster, Alabama.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, Pat.
He's not from Honolulu. Or was it Utah Beach? What was it? What was the island?
I can't remember.
Or right outside Honolulu?
That's where Lane saw him threading the needle, throwing the ball through the eye of the needle. What did he say? Something about a jugs machine? I don't know. Anyways, those texts are rolling in. Also, just some hate that's coming in. Strays.
Just some hate.
Yeah, it's just strays.
A lot of people have taken shots
folks
today. I've taken shots. Don's taken a lot of shots. Hastings taking some shots.
Molly took a shot at your bad complexion.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like I've been taking shots.
Okay.
Like that.
Friendly fire.
And then people wanting updates on what's going on with Terrion Arnold, because apparently we've not spent enough time on it. So kidnapping charges. We've seen the mugshot.
He had a hearing yesterday. He's denied bail.
Yep.
He's going to be in jail until
he's facing a lot of legal problems and a lot of years in prison if he is not exonerated.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Yeah. But other than that, have nothing else to add.
Nope.
On details of that. So anything that we get, we will certainly pass it along. Thank you for those texts. 205-834-9450. Tell you about our friends at Noto Roofing. Now that we got the rainy season here and the storms coming in, and that's going to last. And we need the rain, but the rain does not belong inside of your house. Do what we did at the Roberts house. You call Noto Roofing, 205-848-2299, or go to Noto, and that's spelled Noto roofing.com. Locally owned and operated. I grew up with the owners, Sammy and Matt Noto, and they're just a solid guys. It's a solid company, locally run here. This is not a national company, so they understand Central Alabama. They know what you expect. Chris is their professional who's going to come as field superintendent to your home. He's going to walk the roof and inspect it. If they find any kind of damage, they'll give you the report, all very detailed. And if you need assistance with your insurance company, which I did, they will certainly help you along. We got a new roof, and we could not be happier. Noto Roofing, NOTOroofing.com, or 205-848-2299. Always tell them Landrum from Jocks sent you.
It was interesting. The University of Arkansas earlier this week, their new partnership with Community America Credit Union, in which they renamed their stadium, is reportedly the largest deal of its kind in all of college football. According to Christina Long of Whole Hog Sports, the deal with Community America Credit Union is worth $70 million over a 13-year period. So if you break it down, that's $5.4 million a year that Arkansas will get by changing the name of their stadium. And according to those in the state of Arkansas, it is the largest in all of college football. So the question is, will we see Auburn and Alabama attach a corporate sponsor to their stadiums?
That would be a big price tag. No disrespect to Arkansas. I know they've had some fine years, but I think it would cost more than $70 million if you were going to do that.
Well, think if you're Alabama, right, you now also have the benefit of, hey, we were the most watched team in all of college football last year. We had more eyeballs on us than any other team.
But you're not the most hated anymore. So that
no, but Kalen DeBoer said he wants to get back to that. Yeah. So
I would guess if Alabama or Auburn was ever, first of all, they probably want to avoid it. But if they were ever in that situation where they needed it, well, I guess if you need it, then that probably. But right now, hundreds of millions of dollars, I would think.
I would think it would, be a 9-figure deal.
They start at $250 million. I mean, you see the reaction when people making a slight alteration to a uniform in the state.
I checked with someone last night in Tuscaloosa because I had heard some rumblings about a sponsorship patch and if that was actually happening or not. And the people that I talked to said there has been zero information on that. So that was just one of those rumors going around, probably since Arkansas did what they did with the stadium. Still no word if Alabama and Auburn are going to have a sponsorship patch on their jerseys. So heard something, checked it out. They tell me it's, as of this moment, it's not happening or not on the table for Alabama. Obviously, that could change if a big-time sponsor comes up and offers a lot of money. But I think Alabama and Auburn both are very hesitant to change the look that they've had for so many years on the gridiron.
Yeah, Bryant Denny and Jordan Hare, those just think it would take a lot. You can get creative and other things that you can name in your stadium and put corporate signs attached to them, but changing the name, that's seems like that would be really sacred.
Yeah, but it feels like inevitably, right, that money, and you brought it up, right, if you get to a point where you need the money, you probably don't want to acknowledge that, right? But
like
it's a lot of
Bryant
money
Denny Stadium, presented by Mercedes, driven by Mercedes. I don't know.
Yeah, but see, could you do that because of this in Georgia, Atlanta? Like, would they go that route? You know.
That's why Cohen and Byrne make all the big bucks. You got to figure these things out. Fourth and final hour of the show. We got it figured out. More of your texts. Keep entertaining us. Thank you. Also, questions asked by Pat that we'll try to answer. And the worst thing I've seen, the Friday edition, that's always fun. 3-man front as we continue. You're home for college football and more. Jocks.
Hey there, I'm Paula Pan. How do I save money? Most people give you the cliche answer, stop buying avocado toast. But they're missing the point. Saving tactics usually focus on discretionary spending. If you want to actually move the needle, you have to look at your fixed costs, your rent, your mortgage, your car payment. To change these, you might have to move or sell your car, and that's why people don't do it. If you want small wins, focus on the avocado toast. But if you want meaningful change, focus on the fixed costs. Afford anything. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Full Send Golf.
You guys know how much I really love golf.
Full Send Golf, 2v2. Me and VOD versus Big John and Kyle. Oh, it feels good to be back on the links with the boys.
Join the party on the golf course.
Back to golf in a big way. Now what, practice? Let's go hit the range.
I was like, let's go to the range.
We are headed to the golf course. Yo, you want to golf with us?
No.
You don't play golf?
No.
Try. We got to break par.
I'm very excited. You excited?
Yeah.
Full Send Golf. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.